Recently, Memphis was ranked #2 on Forbes magazine's top 10 most miserable cities in America. I decided to go to Money's Bake Shop to prove why Memphis is not miserable. Cut. Where did the name Muddy's come from?
Muddy is the owner's maternal grandmother, and so because of a lot of our recipes, we try to do like real 30s down-home cooking and everything. So a lot of the recipes came from her, like the lunch stuff. She was kind of like this. I don't know. She was a very spunky lady, and I don't know. We just try to kind of like emulate her style of doing things, which is why we do the lunches. Like, it's kind of mom's kitchen rules, quote unquote. Just because, like, okay, well, this is what we have, so there you go. We don't really do things like, I guess that's why we're not in the restaurant business, is because we're just like, okay, this is what we have, hope you like it, so, and most people do.
I think Muddy's is probably the best cupcake shop there is in the city.
Why do you think it's the best?
Because they really use really good ingredients. They don't cover up their cupcakes with just the icing on top. They come up with unique and different types of cupcakes that are absolutely phenomenal.
You ended up working at Muddy's, right?
My youth minister, when I was 16, was friends with the owner, and I was like, I need a job, and he was like, oh, I know this place that just opened, and so he gave me all the information I needed to apply, so I came and applied, and I was one of her first employees, and it's been a lot of fun seeing the place grow, I guess.
And would you know, what specifically motivated her to start a bake shop?
Well, I could be wrong on this, but I believe she was an art major. She was not a business major. And I think that's really cool because I want to own a shop someday, and to see her having done all of this without a business degree, she just kind of flying by the seat of her pants, and somehow she knew exactly what she was doing. I don't know if she knew what she was getting into, because I don't think she really expected it to blow up like it did. But she just wanted to own a little home-style bakery, and she baked out of her house before this, and had a kind of a side business doing that, which I thought was really cool. And so she was like, well, why don't I just open a shop, doing the exact same thing? So that's what we're doing.
Okay. Let me get this explosion. Let me get the plastic. Plain James, one with the pink frosting and all blue frosting. You want another coconut? Grasshopper.
Might as well keep it something.
Prozac? Prozac. It's good. It is. It's good.
That's all. Let's see.
Mark?
You say, where do the names for the cupcakes come from?
Sorry, just whatever she decides. You know, if someone creates it and they have a name for it, she'll use that. Let's see, we have the peanut butter cup, which is just peanut butter with chocolate on top, and the person who created that one named it. She named the capote, I guess, because she likes Truman Capote, and he used to throw these big black and white balls. So usually she tries to do some kind of play on words or something. Lemon pucker,
Do you have a favorite cupcake?
I used to have a favorite cupcake. I guess I still do. I really like the cinnamon cupcakes because we don't have them very often, and I kind of burnt myself out on flavors we do have very often very quickly. So I guess just whatever's new I usually like, but we always have at least one thing that I like, so whenever I come to work I get a treat. That's another thing I like about working here. It's family and a little house to go to outside of my home. I don't know, the people that I work with everyone's really nice, everyone's really creative. It's just kind of this like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of just, I come here and I can leave all of my everything else at the door and just come here and make cupcakes for 8 hours. And it's kind of a nice break from my day.
And how long have you been working here?
I've been working here since August of '08.
What brings you to tomatoes?
I love their cupcakes, and I like the fact that it's sweet and they're very affordable. They have like cookies here for like 50 cents. Like cupcakes are like $1.60. Yeah, it's pretty affordable. And then the cake, it's actually everything's like homemade.
I know they have nice molasses cookies, and that's what I love.
Is that since your favorite? Like your favorite cookie or your favorite thing here?
Yeah, the molasses cookies.
They real fine. I like them.
What's your favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip and the molasses cookie. I like them cookies.
And like when you have big crowds like you do today, how do y'all cope with the pressure?
Like I said earlier, it's kind of like a little family, so if one person is like, oh, I'm not feeling well today, can I do this job instead? Like, everyone's really helpful, and everyone's just really supportive, I guess is the right word. So that's really nice. It's a good work atmosphere, so it's nice that, you know, all the stress out there doesn't really come over the counter. You know, we keep it pretty chill back here.
So you like cooking, making cupcakes?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm not like the best baker in the world, but once you make a batch of cupcakes a couple hundred times, you realize what to do right and what to do wrong. So.
Like, is there like a specific technique to icing the cupcake?
There's definitely a specific technique to icing, and that's probably, when people first start here, that's probably one of the things that we have to train them most on, is getting the swirl right. Because we try to have at least some consistency as far as what it looks like. You ready? There's a cupcake. Sprinkles. And there you have it. Cupcakes.
So I can never do that. And like, is there any other technique someone would have that want to work here, or?
Actually, we use scoops, like ice cream scoops, to scoop the cupcakes out, like ice cream and cookie scoops. And that's another thing that's kind of hard is, I can move if you want me. Is like, for some things, like the chocolate has to be perfectly level with the scoop that we use, or the lemon has to be a little below level, and I guess those are just things that you wouldn't really think about coming in, but it goes again with the trying to get a consistent, like, cupcake.
And how do you all go about the publicizing? Like, do you use Twitter or Facebook? Or
Yeah,
social media?
she does Twitter, she does Facebook. I think. I'm so sorry, Lee. We're so in your way. Here, I'm gonna move over here. But yeah, she does Twitter and she does Facebook, so that's kind of neat. We don't do paid advertising at all. Like, she's very against paid advertising, which makes me happy because so am I. I hate it when, like, walking into a place and just seeing a bunch of commercials for things everywhere. So she tries to keep it, like, word of mouth, very, I don't know, homey, I guess.
Word of mouth is more worth. And since you've been here since August of '08, what do you see Muddy's in the future, like 5 years from now?
I see it kind of exactly the way it is, but maybe a little better, as far as, not that there's anything wrong, but it's just, since we opened, like, we keep finding these new, it's kind of like playing a gigantic game of Tetris, because we keep having to find new ways to do things and find little problems that we didn't know that we would ever have to solve, like, we have to solve them, and so it just keeps little by little, like, every little thing, every time someone works over here, they'll find a better way to store something or a better way to do something, and so we're constantly finding better ways to do things. Right now we're on our way to becoming part of Project Green Fort, which is a wonderful program in Memphis. I think YOLO is part of Project Green Fort, and it's like composting and recycling, and I don't know, it's kind of a way to, like, if a business is part of Project Green Fork, you can pretty much know, okay, well, they're doing the right stuff as far as their business goes. So I definitely see us, like, we're working towards that right now because it's kind of hard to make the switch over, and it didn't come about until after we opened, I don't think. I think it's pretty new, especially in Memphis. But that's kind of cool.
Like I said, we just cookies. I don't want too many of y'all knowing about my spot. If not, too many of y'all come up in here, we're gonna have to throw it out. So, Muddy's Bake Shop.